impossible because we just bought a house together. We closed July 3rd. And she was slated to move in just 5 days after I found her. It feels impossible to be here because how is it that I'm now 36 years old and my daughter is only about to turn 2 on the 19th and my mother isn't on this earth anymore? Susan was my mom. It was a role she was meant to do her entire life. I've heard hundreds of stories growing up about how she cherished Kevin and me as babies. One of my earliest memories is sitting on my mom's lap, sucking my thumb, the early morning light filling the room as the pot of coffee lingered in the air, her pink and green plaid flannel robe being the perfect soft cushion to watch Saturday morning cartoons. Science tells us that when mothers are growing their babies, fetal cells transfer through the placenta into the mother, where they remain for decades. And maybe that's why it hurts so much and why I don't feel completely tethered to the earth anymore, because perhaps part of me died too, along with her. My mom's life was not easy for her. She was the youngest child in a broken home. She had to grow up in the 1970s. That one's kind of a joke, but she also married really young and became a mother of 2 at 27 and a divorcee by 34. At times, she found life stresses unmanageable. Sometimes she made bad choices. She was a human being, and she was a human being who could laugh really, really hard. She was so funny, and her personality was so full of life that my cheeks would literally hurt from laughing and smiling with her. Susan was my Girl Scout leader. I was proud that my mom was the leader of the group. She was the fun mom amongst my friends. She planned fun crafts and trips. I loved helping her test out a craft that we would be working on later in the week with the Girl Scout group. My favorite was taking glass ornaments and pouring different colors of paint in them, and then twirling them around until the glass ornament was covered in paint. I still have mine, and I put it on the tree every year. She was a room parent for the majority of my early school years, helping the classroom with holiday parties and field trips. My first grade teacher was here earlier to support. She made school feel fun and important, another square in the quilt of my life, and perhaps leading to my love of learning and teaching. I loved going to movies with her. I loved playing board games with her. Monopoly and Trivial Pursuit were our favorites. Yahtzee was Kevin and my mom's favorite. I loved playing with our cats together. I loved the calming thought that came with knowing that she was always there. She was always there for me. If I had a bad day, I could text her or call her on my way home from work. If I had a good interview or a promotion at work or something exciting happened at school, she was the first person I called. If I was sick, she'd bring me cold medicine and whatever food I was craving. Even when she was in Illinois and I was living and going to school in Indiana, she would drive out to me and take care of me if I was sick. She taught me how to do makeup. She taught me how to curl my hair. We loved going for manicures and pedicures. After my parents divorced, it became sort of our mother-daughter date on Sunday afternoons. We would get drinks at Starbucks and go to our favorite strip mall salon and pamper ourselves. Even post-divorce, when she was working for minimum wage at Old Navy, she made sure she had money to do this every other weekend. It breaks my heart as a mom that my mom, who loved her babies more than life itself, went from seeing them daily to seeing them every other weekend and on Wednesday nights for dinner and homework at the library. When I was older, she told me how often she cried herself to sleep during those days. She had dreams that Kevin and I were tiny kittens who had fallen into a storm drain somewhere and she couldn't get to us. But both mine and my mom's hearts were healed from those painful memories when my daughter Julia came into this world. My mom was there for me my entire pregnancy, helping me prepare for the baby's arrival. My mom was standing behind my right shoulder the entire time I gave birth, giving me water and wiping my brow. She was so encouraging and calming. She was the third person to hold Julia. When I went back to work after my maternity leave ended, my mom became Juju's caregiver, and I'm so grateful they got to have that one-on-one Grammy and Juju every time. She taught Julia so many little firsts, and she taught me so much about being a mom. I thought I knew a lot about babies. Imagine how annoyed I was when I couldn't get Juju to settle, but my mom could get her to fall asleep instantly, rocking her in the chair. I was jealous if my mom saw the first before me, like she saw Juju's first steps before me. I'd be happy for her to see Juju do everything first if it meant she was still here. My heart shatters that Julia will grow up with only the memories of her maternal grandmother. My mom was my best friend. She was my biggest supporter. I can't count how many times she dropped whatever it was she was doing to come help me. I could tell her anything, and she wouldn't judge me. She knew all my secrets. She cried when I cried. She held me as I sobbed after my miscarriage, less than a year after my daughter was born. I knew I had to care for her until her last days, which I thought were still decades away. We started looking for a home to live in together, a place where she could watch her grandchildren grow up, a house with a yard and family after spending the last 25 years living alone and in apartments. My mom found the one, she found the house, and last thing I did before her death was spend a weekend painting her spaces bright purples and blues that she had chosen to make it a joyful final forever home with her family. She was supposed to grow old there. The tragedy of my mother's untimely death will haunt me, but my mother's final gift to me was leaving me in a position to be home full-time with Julia, the flexibility to be home while I grieve, the ability to live a slower life right now and to focus on my toddler and healing from the most traumatic event of my life. And so for that, thank you, Mom. The grief is deep and immense, but I can begin to navigate the trauma in peace and surrounded by love, something my mother didn't always get in this life. Every time she found a piece of happiness, something medically would rock her foundation. Her liver tumor, her hip replacement 3 different times. She had an implant, her body rejected it, had to get a temporary, and then a final 3rd surgery for the one that she had the rest of her life. She had breast cancer, a broken foot full of metal pins. I'm glad her last 3 years were spent in sunshine and happiness and love and peace. I hope her final moments felt the same. My mom taught me strength, she taught me love, she taught me patience and forgiveness, she taught me how to be a mom, she taught me how to be a resilient person. I know there will be more lessons from her I haven't even learned yet. I will miss her quoting friends, I will miss her complaining about politics or her frustration with the wordle of the day, even though she usually got it in less than 4 tries. I will miss her hugs, always followed by a kiss on the cheek. I will even miss her smell, a mix of Philosophy brand perfume and Newport menthol lights. I will miss her laugh so much, and I'm glad it is immortalized in video. I will miss her silly animal voice when she talked to the cats. I will miss her almond Christmas cookies. I've tried to make them, they're not the same. I will miss watching Juju hug her Jaja. That's how Juju says grandma. And my mom would joke that she was calling her Jaja because she was so glamorous, like Jaja Gabor. I will miss my mom until my last days, but our love will forever be in the family tree. My children's children's children can look back in the ancestry and know that Susan Hillary Grace had a daughter who she named after herself, whom she loved with all her heart, and will forever love and for all time. I have Simba now, Mom, and I have Tom and Juju. I hope you left this world peacefully, knowing I would be okay. I will be okay. I hope you're okay. Until we can be together again, please be my mom in every lifetime and in every universe. I love you.